You are 26, alone in a rented one-bedroom apartment, and it's 11:47 p.m. The business account reads $302. Outside, your phone lights up with someone else's funding announcement. You don't open it. You keep scrolling through the financials of a laundromat nobody wants to buy. The blinds are broken, so the streetlight outside cuts a straight line across the floor, right through the middle of the spreadsheet on your lap. Nobody knows this is where it starts. Level 1, $0. You quit the job everyone told you was a good one. No dramatic speech, no goodbye email, no LinkedIn post. You just stop showing up in the Slack channel, and 2 weeks later, HR sends a severance form you sign without reading it. Your parents call 3 times that week. You don't pick up the 3rd time. Your mother leaves a voicemail asking if you're doing okay, and you save it without listening past the first 10 seconds. You're not building a startup. You are building a spreadsheet. Every night you read tax returns for businesses too boring for anyone else to care about. A vending machine route, an HVAC shop, a pest control company with a fax machine older than you. You teach yourself what an SDE multiple is from a forum post at 2 a.m. You call business brokers who don't call back. You call them again. Your old coworker Marcus is raising a seed round for an app that writes AI birthday cards. He tells you laundromats aren't really building anything. You nod. You don't argue. You just close his tab and open another business's bank statements. Nobody knows you're right yet. Level 2, $50,000. You buy your first business. A single laundromat on a street with 2 boarded-up storefronts and 1 working streetlight. You sign the papers at a folding table in the owner's garage, next to a chest freezer humming louder than the conversation. The seller cries a little, talking about the machine that still has his late wife's masking tape label on it. You don't cry. You've read the numbers so many times you already know this machine makes more money asleep than most people make awake. Compared to level 1, this is the first proof the theory wasn't just numbers on a screen. It's a door that opens, a machine that runs, a deposit that clears without you touching it. You don't tell your family what you bought. You tell them you're consulting. You drive by the laundromat at midnight sometimes, just to watch the lights on through the window. The way other people watch their kids sleep, Marcus posts a photo from a rooftop launch party. 200 comments. You post nothing. The laundromat's revenue that month covers your rent. It also covers something else. Quiet proof the model works. You start looking for the next one before the first one even finishes its first full quarter. Nobody knows. Level 3, $2,000, 3 laundromats and a car wash later, you stop doing the books yourself. You hire a woman named Dana, who left a regional bank because nobody there wanted to actually own anything. They just wanted to lend against it. She becomes your first real employee. Not your friend, your operator. She reorganizes your entire filing system in a weekend and finds $40,000 in unclaimed vendor credits you didn't know existed. Where level 2 was one machine proving a theory. Level 3 is the theory becoming a system. Tired owners, boring businesses, unglamorous math, repeated on purpose. You buy a 4th business not because you love it, but because the seller is retiring with no children who want it, and the cash flow is too clean to ignore. You start using the same 3 questions on every seller call, the same checklist on every walkthrough, the same patience on every negotiation that drags into its 4th month. At a wedding, Marcus asks what you're up to these days. You say, "A few small businesses," he says. "Cute," and turns back to a conversation about his Series A. You let him. The number doesn't need his approval. The number did the talking anyway. Nobody knows. Level 4, $18,000. You acquire a regional HVAC company with 40 employees and a founder who built it from a single truck in 1994. He doesn't want a buyer who fires everyone and flips it in 3 years. You don't. You keep his name on the building. You keep his lead technician as general manager. You just take the profits and roll them into the next deal. The founder shakes your hand twice at the closing. Once for the deal, once, he says, for not being what I was afraid you'd be. This is the level where the comparison to before stops being about size and starts being about shape. At $2,000 you owned businesses. At $18,000 you own a structure. You form the holding company, one entity, several subsidiaries, a shared drive, a part-time bookkeeper, and a name on a filing cabinet that nobody outside a courthouse will ever read. You still drive the same car. You still live in the same apartment. Someone at your gym asks what you do for work. Small business stuff, you say. They change the subject. Nobody knows. Level 5, $85,000 to $1,000. The businesses start compounding into each other. The HVAC company refers customers to a plumbing company you now also own. The plumbing fleet gets serviced by an auto shop you bought for almost nothing because the owner was tired of doing brakes at 61. The pest control company starts sharing a dispatcher with the cleaning company, and nobody even asked you to make that happen. It just happened because the structure was built to let it. At $18,000, growth meant buying the next business. At $85,000, growth means the businesses buying into each other without you lifting a finger. You hire your first CFO. He asks why there's no logo, no website, no LinkedIn page for the holding company. Because nobody needs to know, you tell him. He laughs, thinking it's a joke. It isn't. Marcus's app gets acquired for $4 million. A headline, a press release, a congratulatory dinner with investors. He calls to celebrate. You say congratulations and mean it. He asks what you've been doing. A few small businesses, you say again. He doesn't ask which ones. He never does. Nobody knows. Level 6, $310,000 to $1,000. A private equity fund reaches out. Not to buy you, to partner with you. They've seen your numbers through a lender who mentioned your portfolio in passing. They fly you to a glass office to talk about platform strategy and roll-up economics. Words you'd been quietly practicing without a name for 6 years. They ask for a pitch deck. You send them a spreadsheet instead. They fund you anyway. Unlike Level 5, where you were still the only signature on every deal, now capital comes looking for you. You take it without taking the spotlight. No press release, no interview. Just 3 more acquisitions in 11 months. Each one boring, each one profitable. Each one a business some tired 60-something owner was relieved to finally hand off to someone who answers the phone on the second ring. Marcus texts you a screenshot. His second startup just shut down. You call him back this time. He answers on the first ring. I don't even know what you do anymore, he says. He says nothing else for a long moment. You don't correct him. You just ask if he's okay. And for once, he doesn't have a headline-ready answer. Nobody knows. Level 7, $600,000. The holding company now spans 14 businesses across 6 states. Laundromats, HVAC, plumbing, pest control, auto repair, commercial cleaning. Nothing that trends. Nothing that gets covered. Nothing anyone would recognize at a dinner party. Combined, they're worth more than most of the startups Marcus used to introduce you to at parties. You could name every general manager on a phone call. None of them could pick your face out of a lineup at an industry conference because you've never been to one. At every previous level, someone eventually asked what you did, and you gave the same small answer. At $600,000, the answer hasn't changed. You still don't have a website. You still don't have a title anyone would put on a business card. People's eyes still glaze over and move to someone louder. You've stopped minding. You realized somewhere around Level 5 that being underestimated was never a cost of this strategy. It was the strategy. That's the part nobody tells you about building real wealth. It doesn't look like anything. It doesn't sound like anything. It just quietly compounds while everyone is looking somewhere louder. Nobody knows. It's 11:47 p.m. again, 7 years later. You're not in the one-bedroom apartment anymore, but you kept the same folding table from that first laundromat garage. It sits in the corner of an office you rarely use, still slightly crooked on one leg. Your phone lights up with another funding announcement from someone else's app. You still don't open it. You open the same kind of spreadsheet you opened the night this started, except now there are 14 tabs instead of 1, and the streetlight outside doesn't cut through broken blinds anymore. It's just city lights. Far below, through glass, you never bothered to decorate. Nobody ever found out how any of this happened. That was never the plan. Wealth built quietly is still wealth. It's just the only kind nobody claps for.